Well, good morning. I'm Perry Johnson, and I'm running for President of the United States. Let's face it, we have the greatest country the world has ever known, and I say we keep it that way. Now, I'm probably a little too conservative for this group, but I might as well let you know where I stand. I am pro-life, I am pro-Second Amendment, I'm anti-woke, I'm anti-China, and by golly, I think it's ridiculous that we're sending $113 billion over to Ukraine when we're going broke here. But I don't really think it's possible for you to ever vote for anyone without knowing something about them. And I will tell you that when I'm elected president, there are a few things that are going to be done right away. Because I am centrally focused on one theme, the economy. Frankly, we're going broke. And I wrote a book, 2 Cents to Save America. It's a very simple concept. Instead of having the government spend every single penny in our budget every year, we're going to do just the opposite. We are going to freeze the budget and cut 2 cents out of every dollar of discretionary spending. And that way we can start to systematically balance the budget. Now, do you think we spend too much money? I mean, we are $32 trillion in debt. That is costing every family in America $610 a month just in interest. But the second thing I'm going to do is bar the whole idea of any minor ever getting transition therapy. It has to stop. Now, third, you may not like this, but I am going to close the Department of Education. Do you realize that only 8 cents out of every dollar goes to grades K through 12? And we're spending $68 billion a year with 4,400 employees. And frankly, that 8% should just go to the parents and they go to school wherever they want. Now, number 4 is pretty radical, but I'm going to dismantle the FBI. The FBI has become one of the most corrupt organizations in the entire country. I want you to think about how ridiculous it is. They end up spying on Trump, and then they claim there's Russian collusion where they actually pay people to perjure themselves. They didn't care about Biden. They didn't care about what was going on with the Biden crime family. The Biden crime family literally stole $10 million indirectly by bribes. Now, is that acceptable? But it's okay with the FBI. I thought it's kind of interesting, too. Keep in mind that there was cocaine in the White House, but magically, the most secure place on the planet, they have no video, right? There are probably more video screens per square inch than any place on Earth, but there was no video. And I say it has to stop. It hasn't been just here. The left was complaining about them when we had Martin Luther King and the civil rights. We get rid of it. Now, I actually have a reality show that I am showing so you can see what it's really like to run for president. And you'll see systematically what goes on. A lot of it's behind the scenes. But we are on Newsmax from 9 to 9:30 Eastern Time every Sunday. And you can watch the back episodes if you go to perryjohnson.com/backstage. But I'm going to tell you, I'm a guy that grew up in a middle-class family. My parents didn't have much money, but I worked in the steel mill to get through college. In grad school, well, it was a little tougher. In fact, I was getting eviction notices on pretty much a regular basis. I lived on sub sandwiches when I could afford those. But I finally got a job in the auto industry around 1980. Now, that was a time when the auto industry was in trouble. I worked for Borg Warner. The Japanese had come in with tremendous quality, and they were killing us. And I thought I knew how to solve the problem. And you know, in America, when you get an idea, you run with it. And that's what I did. I introduced statistical process control in all the operations with the supply base and the auto industry. And what we did was to iron out the variation. And systematically, in about 4 or 5 years, we had the best quality in the world. And we were able to do that and give a product to everyone for 20 to 30% less. And then I said to myself, why not a standard for quality? We have a standard for everything else. Why not one for quality? And I wrote a book, ISO 9000, the quality standard. And it took off like hotcakes. And now Perry Johnson registrars and Perry Johnson Laboratory Accreditation do business in 61 countries around the world. I live the American dream. I have the most wonderful wife in the world. I have 3 wonderful kids. And my oldest started college this year, and it's time for me to get something back. Now, I'm funding my own campaign. I don't need any money. I'm going to do it myself because I believe in America it's time that we have a CEO. And I have to admit, everybody knows that I love Trump. I actually voted for Trump, and I will vote for him again if I lose this. But I'm a guy that believes that it's time that we bring quality and efficiency to government. And I'm going to ask you, do you think our government has quality and efficiency now? It's ridiculous. But I will say that I have a requirement of getting 40,000 donors. I think I'm going to hit it. And anybody that donates will automatically get invited to the Big and Rich concert in Iowa on August the 12th. Bottom line is, we have a great country and we have so much that we can do. But I want to tell you that America is a very interesting experiment. And I want you to sit back and think about how lucky we are. I feel that being born in America is so special that once I was born here, I feel like I've won the lottery. And I want you to reflect a little bit on our country and how it was founded. We basically had an idea that we could have something that no one ever had before, a country by the people, for the people, with basic inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, to achieve this, we had to do the impossible. We had to go out and literally defeat the most powerful army in the history of the world. And we had to do it without guns. They wouldn't even let us have muskets. We had a fledgling general by the name of George Washington. But we did it. And we became the most powerful country the world has ever known. By golly, I want you to think about how spectacular this country really is. Because you look back and the people look at us and they say, wow, we won World War II because we had the best manufacturing the world had ever seen. And we literally did things that were impossible. And we look back and we see we have Carnegie, we have Henry Ford, we have Edison, and we have Elon Musk. And the world looks at us and says, wow, because we are literally an experiment that has proven to be the greatest thing that has ever happened in the history of the world. And I say we keep it that way. I say we continue to be the greatest country the world has ever known. And God bless the United States of America. Let's do it. Do it now, because we are going to do it, and we're going to win this election. Are we going to win? Yes! The greatest country ever!